You can start when the beat drops. We'll be live by then. We are.
Gang. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Berkeley Poetry Slam's annual Spooky Slam. My name is Reggie, and I will be your host on this haunted evening of poltergeisty poetry and ghostly art. Yeah. You can tell that I practice. But yeah, we have an amazing night. We have an amazing night of poetry, spooky vibes, maybe even a costume or two. But before we jump into it, I of course have to thank the people that make it possible. I want to shout out all of our patrons, old and new. Shout out to the people who have signed up in the last couple months. We've been on sort of a hiatus. We will update this list soon. But I want to give a special thank you to Alice Anami, Melody Montgomery, John Romankiewicz, Stephanie Yeboah, Renee Edmonds, Emily Chow, Calla Lilly for being regular supporters. I want to give a special thank you to Jessica Kozakic for sponsoring one of our weekly workshops, and an extra special thank you to both Alice Grimm and Rebecca Abraham for pledging $100 a month in support of our venue, the Allen Bluford Center for Justice. Our average donation is about $11 a month, which means that for less than the price of a Netflix subscription, you can support a global literary and performing arts movement. If you enjoy what you're seeing here, or just love the arts and believe in reparation and liberation and a voice for the oppressed, head on over to patreon.com/richoak events to donate. Lit. So, of course, this is a competition. Poetry Slam, a competition. We take art, we put numbers on it. At the end of the day, someone gets money. It's lit. It's brutal, but it's lit. And of course, with every competition, we have rules. First, for the poets. First, no props, no musical accompaniment. Normally, we say no costumes, but 'tis the season to be jolly. Spooky. So some people might have costumes. If you come with a costume, if you perform with a costume poet, you get an extra point. But more important than those rules is the time limit. Just because it's a special slam doesn't mean you get to say whatever you want for how long you want. You still have 3 minutes with that grace period of 10 seconds to spit your own original work. After the 3 minutes and that grace period of 10 seconds, you will be deducted points by our scorekeeper, Profit. After 4 minutes, you will be muted, and I will have to come up and awkwardly recover that fumble. I do not play football. This is exactly what happens if you get muted in the middle of your poem. It is no longer the middle of your poem. It is the end of your poem. And now I have to be my awkward self and figure out how to recover that when I wasn't ready. Oh no, I wasn't ready. So please don't go over 4 minutes. Top 5 poets move on to round 2, which means I don't know if I mathed right, or maybe I mathed wrong, or maybe I mathed right wrong, but I believe all of the poets, because we only have 5 poets, will be going into round 2. And while we are here, we have the poets, and they shall be reading in this order. I do not have the right order. Someone didn't put that in the checklist. I know it's in the chat, but like where? Because I cannot find it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I mean, I got the host checklist, but is the thing right? It's It's that the list isn't right in the checklist. I have the checklist. That's not the issue. So poets will be reading in this order. We have Hector Castaneda, then we have Tina, then we have Nicole Tracy, then we have Siobhan Guthrie, and then we have my Lord. Give it up for all of the poets going up in round one. Lit. Woo. Wow, that's perfect. That brings me to the audience. Wow, y'all have rules. You see this segue? Your first rule is to cheer, whether it's in the comment section at home, whether it's unmuting yourself here on Zoom, whether it's screaming into the void of wherever you are. You need to make sure that these poets know that you are fucking with live art delivered right to your living room. It's mad dry as fuck to be in a Zoom room full of like strangers and like spitting your truth and like not hearing or seeing anything. So show massive love in the comment section. Unmute yourself when poets are coming on and off stage and show them maximum love. I hear that our resident ghost, Sally, might be here to spook us all into applauding. So please do not anger the ghost, because she might do some things that we don't. She might take over the slam and then, you know.
I'm afraid I can't let them do that, Reggie. I am the audience now.
So our Zoom is haunted, as you can see. So, you know, don't anger the ghost. Clap, cheer, make as much noise as you can. Yeah, Sally says my name weird and I don't like it. What's up with white people not being able to pronounce black people's names? Let's talk about it. Anywho, lit. And then while you're at it, while you're commenting, make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing to our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at the Berkeley Slam. You don't want to miss what we do. We have a slam every single week, a workshop every single week. You want to stay Saweetie tapped in so you can know what's going on in our community. And yeah, next, last but finally not least, our judges. Thank you so much. It is because of you that we are able to pay our poets. At the end of the night, we get to pay a winner because you select a winner, and you do that by giving each poet a score from 0.0 to 10.0. 0.0 being the worst piece of shit you ever heard in your life. 10 being the best thing you ever heard in your life. It's the difference between student loans and student loan forgiveness. And that's like a 2.2 to 8.8. Point being, not a lot of zeros, not a lot of tens. Score accordingly. There's this thing called score creep, where as the night goes on and we get more into the vibes, maybe get a little drizz, you know, maybe get a little smiz, you know, the poetry starts sounding better and the scores start going up. Don't do that shit. It's not fair to the people who went first when you are sober and vibeless. So we're going to help you out a little bit, and we'll have a sacrificial poet. They are not competing, but they will go first, and you'll score them as if they are competing. And that's kind of your calibration. So any poems you like more, score them higher. Any poems you don't like as much, score them lower. Lit. So we have everything. Is there anything that I'm missing? Oh, Sally, is there something I'm missing? Speak now or forever just leave me alone, please.
Let's go, poets.
Gang, gang. I believe Sally is in agreement, which is creepy. That we are ready to rumble. So on deck, we have Hector Castaneda. But give maximum love to your sacrificial poet. Give it up for Reggie.
Woo!
Woo! Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Indeed.com.
Boyhood is a decaying orbit around a dying star. Girlhood is a nebula incubating a new sun. All I am is empty space. The distance between two lonely planets orbiting the same ball of hot gas. All I have is a meteorite body of ice. Ice is just water. Water is just hydrogen and oxygen. When it changes phases, it's still the same substance. We just call it by a different name. When it comments into a trail of vapor, we don't tell the steam that it isn't the heat shared between two atoms. When my masculinity dies, do not have a funeral. When femininity blooms from the ashes, do not call it a different star. I am still burning the same fuel, just a little differently. I can still envelop entire solar systems in my warmth. My body is a phoenix sun. My gender can be the light shared between two planets and not the airless void between them. When stars fall, we call them miracles. Tiny wishes flashing across the night sky. Every day I watch them shoot across the heavens. I wonder if this is where my gender comes from. I have an alien body. I have interstellar bones. My gender light years away and still somehow home. Thank you. Give it up for the sacrificial poet. Oh my God. I don't know them. Who were they? They were so pretty. Like, judges, give us your scores. Send those scores on to Prophet. Yeah, this is the longest we are going to give you to send those scores. By like the end of the poem, you should know if it's like a 2.8 or like a 9.8. So like, yeah, lit. So we are going to keep it moving, keep it chugga, 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 choo choo, like the little engine that could. So on deck, we have Tino, but give maximum love to our first poet competing in the slam. Give it up for Hector.
Woo!
Internalized homophobia has 3 stages of grief. 1, bargaining. I bargain my queer with the horizon. Queer avoids dying. Supernovas of queer reject, grieving themselves into shattered, stained glass. I feel less hetero joy than homophobia can gaslight. Bare-chested locker room boy becomes forbidden fruit. A haunting bane of my reflection. My galaxy implodes into limbs of broken mirrors with less stardust than prayers. I survive by crucifying my body to please a Bible. God's dick dissolves in my hand. I'm always living as a corpse, buried under my queer. So I skin a preacher's tongue till God unwrites my name with less blood ink than black holes. I'm gravitied with grief. I am more wrecked glass than shattered prismatic sun rays. I'll phoenix myself for fucking ever if I have to soak in the sun. 2, depression. My queer horizon is dying. Supernovas grieve into shattered stained glass. There is less hetero joy than homophobia. Bare-chested boy becomes haunting of my reflection. My galaxy implodes in broken stardust prayers. I survive by crucifying my body to please God. I'm a living corpse buried under my skin. A preacher's tongue writes my name with less blood than black holes. Grief more than shattered prismatic sun rays. I'll phoenix myself for fucking ever if I have to. 3, acceptance. My star, supernovas into stained glass. Less phobia of my reflection in broken mirrors. Less crucifying my body to please God's corpse buried under a preacher's tongue. Less black hole grief. More prismatic sun. I phoenix myself for fucking ever.
Gang, gang, gang. Give it up for Hector. Woo! Do it before Sally does it. Woo! She's gonna. I already know she will. Her ass on the stage. I'm just waiting on Sally to say something. Oh, quiet. I guess we scared her away. I'm just like nervous every time. Every time I'm just like, she's gonna pop out of nowhere, isn't she? Lit. Judges, send your scores on over to Profit and do I have scores? Do I have scores for the sacrificial poet? Oh, Profit. We'll figure it out. Someone thought I glitched. No, I'm just dying. Lit. And the sacrificial poet got a 25.2. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet and not the point. Ooh. Let me get a drink real quick. Yes. Alrighty then. Let's see. We're gonna keep it moving on deck. We have Nicole Tracy to give maximum love for the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Tina. Woo!
Woo!
I dressed up as my mother for Halloween. Hi, Mom. This one's for you. Babe, can you mute yourself? Okay. Oakland Sun. 1. I press into my mother's side despite the distance between school and home stirs no winds, but I exhaust myself to share an infant's warmth. I hold her hand, but every Bay Area winter is unpredictable as last. I should be warm. Even if there is an overflow of heat, something must come of my flesh. A child learns the science of sharing body heat and mines it for all its magic. A child sees many lives faded and promises to hold the sun. I think there is enough to go around. Come and bear the blanket I weave for you. I swear, I'll fight the cold for us. I got a right knee stiff enough to tell there is a storm coming. I swear I know the cold before I was kindling. I won't let my fingers wrap around frail muscles. Sometimes I ask if there is enough heart in my body. There isn't enough firewood in the pit, but at least I don't crumble under my own weight. No one is my undoing. The time of decay will be when all of me is deemed ash. I should be warm. I should receive bones, alchemy, the skin back, the feeling. I give blood, breath, and purpose. I receive your hands and grow sacred all I cannot fight off. I press against you, and you hold a chandelier of candles, a gather of ember, a calling for a sun, all the things we claim ourselves to be, too. I wonder if my mother ever uses the sun to walk back home. I know she has a wallet full of photos, but none of them compass you towards your destination. She tells me if I ever get tired of talking about movement, I ask her, where she thinks I learned to outrun the shadows. The only thing I have is a phantom hand to hold on to and a sun to guide me.
Gang, 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 gang.
Let's go, Tino. Oh my God.
All right. And for reference, do they come from the same word? I don't know. I dropped out of college, but for reference. Hector got a 25.7. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, never the points. The poetry, never the points. Poetry, never the points. All right. And on deck, we have Siobhan Guthrie. But give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Nicole Tracy. Woo!
I am my boyfriend this Halloween. He is a straight white man who drinks shitty beer. This poem I should not dedicate to him, but is about straight white men. This is Derek. Meet Derek, my ex-boyfriend, my ex-guy who I had a fling with. Derek, who says he's a former player, but only with a girl to call a trophy on his arm. If you've ever introduced yourself to me and I got lost in your smile, your name is Derek, because you know just how to smile, hide your danger behind your teeth, and get exactly what you want. I humor Derek and have a conversation because he smells of IPAs, and I am too drunk to forget that I hate IPAs. So Derek brags about his job, or how close he is to his family, or something else mild to impress me. Derek buys 2 more IPAs, and I pass it back to the bartender when Derek is distracted, because Derek never bothered to ask what I drink, and I will never be too drunk to forget that I hate IPAs. Derek talks over me, says how he has a thing for quiet girls. When he stops talking long enough to take a drink, he asks what I do, expecting it to fill the time it takes him to swallow. But he spits as soon as he finds out I'm a strong woman, and the game changes. I've become his conquest, not his arm candy tonight. I smile and he thinks it is for him, but it is because I know this game well. And I know I will not be his Friday night conquest, but Derek doesn't realize he's not the first one to try and rename me after himself. So I know all his games, but play along anyways. My tongue will not surrender to his, and he stops to tell me he loves strong women. Derek will try and become any guy the same way he molds me into any woman. She is quiet, so he likes quiet girls. She is loud and unapologetic, so he says he likes confident women. She wears resting bitch face as her favorite accessory, and he says he likes his women tough. I am all of hers, and Derek is none of these. Derek just wishes to find a girl to bring home. The $16 Uber ride for her makes it well worth his time. I have met too many Dereks. I know all about his need for his bed to not be so desolate tonight. I know all the rules to his little games, even the ones he doesn't tell me. I know just how this will play out if I play along. And I am too strong, confident woman to let myself follow another Derek home, just for mediocre dick and a forgotten name. I can get off all on my own, and it is my name I scream, not his.
Gang, gang, gang. Give it up for Nicole Tracy. Amazing. All right. And for reference,
Let's go in poets. My head's
yeah. I fucked up my throat. Fuck you, Sally. Someone said I love Sally. See, you the motherfucker that get killed in the horror movie. You be like, I'm gonna go after the ghost.
I had to kill the other guy. He was a good guy.
Arvind! No! This is a horror movie and a slam. Look at this. We're giving you a show. We're giving you production. You should be giving us donations, and you can do that through our linktree.com/Patreon. You can also donate one time via Cash App, Rich Oak Events, or via Venmo at Berkeley Slam. Any of those will go a long way in making sure that these run and supporting other ventures in the community. For example, there is a wonderful community member, OG Berkeley Slam, Milani Pelly, an amazing woman here in Berkeley, and she is doing an in-person workshop series that we are supporting because it's really important. So these workshops are specific for women and femme-identified people. And there are 2 workshops, one for all women and femmes called Writing Realities, and the other is called Sister Circles, and that is specifically for Black, Indigenous women of color and femmes of color. So those links to those workshops are in our linktree.com/Rich Oak Events. You can get tickets. Make sure you snatch those tickets as soon as possible because there are only 10 spots per session, and all of these sessions will be held in Berkeley. There's more information on the Eventbrite, which is in our link tree. Look at that. On deck, we have but give maximum love to the next poet coming up in the slam. Give it up for Chef. Woo! Gang, 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 gang.
Ken Griffey Jr. costume. Hear me? Mic check good?
We can hear you.
And the gun says, some days I want to paint the sky red. Make crimson crime scene of this country and send everything white or blue back to the stars. See, I'd be the pole and flag. See, my mouth a black hole. You try to escape and get turned into light. But some days I hate this skin. It'd be dark as the night that stole my sleep. It was 2015. Boy had swastikas for hands and a lynch mob on his breath. He took me to a church in Charleston and I could immediately smell the burning. When they prayed for him, I prayed for them. But me and God ain't never spoke the same language. Maybe you saw his reflection in those pews and hate his skin too. Boy grabbed me by throat and trigger and I tried to jam. Save my breath trying to buy time for one of the miracles they just kept singing about, but he kept screaming, squeezing and squeezing. I remember they screamed. Remember walls splattered the color Make America Great Again. His smile, a right-wing rictus absent of remorse, twisted as a trail of shell casing wrapped around their outlines. They say the light can never escape a black hole, but you ever had to watch a soul leave a bullet wound? You enough issues to fill a whole magazine. Now I got enough issues to fill a whole magazine because white conservatives say he did nothing wrong. And white liberals say it was all my fault. Now both gonna call this black on black crime. Call me loose cannon. White liberals say we need gun control. White conservatives say you already took our slaves away once. I just sat there. I was peace until triggered, still until triggered. But what is it to be black in America but have everyone pulling at your triggers? I did 5 years in lockup and they call me evidence. Call me proof that black people light can't escape. If you put it in a hole, they treat me like I ain't built this country. Like I ain't fight their wars. Hell, even the ones on me. Guess ain't no honor when you are the metal, the steel, the stolen. When you see a reflection in so many crime scenes, you start to hate your skin too. You know what it's like to always fit the description. Being triggered man to be so absent of color, he damn near invisible black people that had PTSD in America for a long ass time, but we don't even get to call it a mental health issue. We just wait on the next drunk nigga to make it a persona slam poem. Hello me. Hello me with pills, I mean bullets. Oh, hoping good enough will make me back into something they can use because God made man how he sees himself, but man made me to make himself God. It is 2020 and no one adopts me at the police auction. I get repurposed as a a service weapon. A cop with swastikas for hands and a lynch mob on his breath breaks into a home in Louisville and point me at a black woman lay asleep in her bed. I shake, hoping that this time my demonstration makes a difference and the officer gets punished. It was only for the bullets that missed. When they marched in the street for her, I wondered, is movement caused by a nervous arm or just the nervous system?
Gang, 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 gang. Give it up for the poet. Woo. Yes. All right. I think we've stayed. Arvin, can you say something in the chat if you're okay? Did Sally really get you? R.I.P. Arvin. Everyone pray for Arvin.
Peace in our time.
What? Never mind. You know what? We're gonna ignore Sally, just like the white lady always ignores the ghost in her closet until it drags her little ass out of bed in the middle of the night and flings her around the room in the horror movie. So until that happens, Sally does not exist to me. Peace in our time, Sally. Oh, this is getting disturbing. Insert your favorite movie reference about an AI gone wrong. Lit, but on deck we have round 2, the money round. But Nicole scores. Let me make sure I do that. Oof. Almost got me there, Sally. Almost distracted me. Nicole got a score of a 25.0. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Never the points. The poet. Never the points. And on deck we have round 2, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for my
Mic check.
We can hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, yes.
We can
Okay.
hear you.
Real quick, Space Jam. Yes, okay. That's my costume. I want to give a slight content warning for insomnia. The moon wants me back. I used to keep blinds open and window cracked at night, help me feel calm, let me fall into a puddle of sheets, body, and thoughts. I want to become unknown. I don't want to be forgotten by you, but instead erased. I want to be not someone you knew deeply or intimately or a friend at all. I want to be known to you as the one who had a locker down the hall senior year. I want to be known to you as the one who sat in the 3rd row somewhere in that lecture hall. I want to be unknown by you. I do not ask that I never met you, but rather that we never had the opportunity to become close. To me, long days just mean I had a really long night. Long nights just mean I fell in love with the moon. The way it is just a reflection of the sun's light. The way it is a reflection of the sun, a reflection of itself, of this body. On long nights, I fall in love with the moon so much, I start to fall in love with its reflection of myself. They say we can't come from the same stuff space is made of. I wonder how much of me is moon and how much of the moon is also me. The way it peers into dark rooms through pane glass onto a body that can never find its way home. Sometimes I wonder if all that's left of me is the memories of stolen parts. If all I have left to mourn is what would have been if had I been louder, screamed, yelled, spoken up, even a whisper would do. I ask myself on long nights like this one if I'm mourning who I could have been if I was unknown to you. Long nights mean I watch the moon stare me down, trying to pull its dark matter over my eyelids and put me to rest. The craters always find home in my hips, though. The moon never left, though. The moon let me know I was still alive, still breathing, still a chance at survival. On long nights, I would let the moon stare me down. I would stare in the mirror and hope I would fall in love with myself the same way I fell in love with the moon. If I was just a passerby, the type of person that you seem someone that looks enough like me and you have a familiar feeling that you can't remember my name. If I was just unknown, maybe I wouldn't have to grieve the other me that I would have been, could have been, should have been. I just close the blinds now.
Woo!
Gang, gang, give it up for my woo. All right, and I have been informed that I did not give Tino a score. That is my bad. Did you ask me to start my video? Because my video is started. I don't know what to tell you. Can you not see me? Can you not spotlight me? Sally, see, this is what happens when you put a damn AI in charge. Can't do shit. There we go. There we go. See, if Arvind was alive, we would have had this shit on lock. We don't need AIs to destroy us. We have our own arrogance. From the movie Ex Machina, if you've created a conscious machine, it's not the history of man, that's the history of gods. No, can we actually talk about how people are putting quotes from their favorite fucking like AI horror flick? What the fuck? I didn't expect anyone to like respond to that. That makes me so happy. Please give me more. Please give me more. But,
for sure.
Wow. Like put them in the comment section and I'll I'm sorry, Reggie. I'm afraid I can't do that. Oh, can you shut the fuck up? Sally? Thank you. Like, you don't run this show. I don't even know what you're afraid you can't do. You're supposed to be all-knowing and all-powerful, you know, make it happen. You killed our god, damn it. If you can kill our god, you can do anything. Anyway, Tino got a score of a 24.2. Fuck the scores, give it up for the poetry, never the points. Sally is not God. I don't know who's saying that. I don't know who thought they knew that. Chev got a 29.5. Once again, fuck the scores. It's all about the poetry, never the point. And then finally, we have Mai, who got a 26.9. Again, fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, never the points. All right. Wait. No. It's the way that people are cheering on Sally. I've been mutinied. But we are going to have another sacrificial poet. What? We have another sacrificial poet. Another person to get these judges ready, to give these poets a little bit more time. So I need y'all petition to let Sally host Anarchy Slam. Absolutely the fuck not. Veto, absolutely not. Actually, it's more than veto. It might be vetoes. It might be feet. Like, absolutely not. It might be the whole damn foot. But no. I'm trying to introduce a poet, goddammit. Y'all are distracted.
I killed the old gods. I am new god.
Whew, child. We're gonna pretend we didn't hear that. Yep. Everything is fine. I'm like actually legitimately scared sometimes by Sally. Like she is unsettling. But on deck we have Mai. But give maximum love to your sacrificial poet of the round. Give it up for Jordan.
Woo! Let's go, Jordan.
They say the crush is the first step in making wine. And what is more intimate than the relationship between trampled fruit and the feet that squashed it, bruises and the hands that formed them? My abuser is harvesting grapes in the ruins of recent fires, and everything about this feels fitting. She was always good at pulling from the ground what others planted, consuming what someone else created. My abuser always loved wearing trauma as costume. Strip it from the skins that experienced it. My body never forgot being struck by her. She was always that summer lightning storm, all rapid fire sparks and adrenaline rush. When my abuser lit up the sky behind you unpredictable, no one knew where she'd strike. Looking back, there were always patterns all along. Summer 2020, and California's right lung coughed out COVID, and the left got caught blustering about climate change, while developing fire hazards up and down the coast. As always, the ones who create the problem are not the ones who lose the most. Corporations who sold danger as cost-cutting, the politicians who approved the permits to build in drought-dry forests, watched the hills burn, Riesling in hand. My abuser could be the inferno consuming anyone in her way. Luxury homes razed to the ground in fire country and re-raised the following year, and still convince everyone she was the flame lured to the match. Those living at the only place they could afford, abusers practice the art of gaslighting. Mine is an expert. Insists vintage bottles are too essential to remain uncorked. Long after she fled the unglamorous Bay Area for the OC, my cousin, who met her at an '08 New Year's party, surrounded by sparkling sky, reshares her dramatic silhouette against hovering smoke. Captions a well-paid internship prestigious. Caught by an inferno I thought I escaped a decade ago. Speeding in reverse, my escape route blocked by crashing trees. Her volunteer work highlighted. My abuser is great at giving away what isn't hers. The jobs of immigrant communities crushed by pandemic, dependent on an industry liquefied by the blazes. Napa is no longer aflame. She cultivated me for her own consumption, wore the sharp of my trauma to give her edge, and my abuser is getting paid to tip back glasses of soil she never tended, loved, built in. My cousin links the Times cover mourning historic wineries razed to the ground. My abuser will be long gone when it's time to rebuild. I point out I have old photos of us playing adults, her setting me ablaze so she'd have the perfect lighting, while she holds a wine glass, tells me to hurt softer, grinning, as everyone who loves her burns in her wake.
Gang. 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 Give it up for Jordan. Woo! All right, so I have news. I have been informed that Arvind has managed to sneak into the Sally mainframe, but they can only deactivate her if we cheer. So I need everyone to cheer as loud as possible because we could exorcise Sally from the room. I'm just saying, don't turn this into a fucking cabin in the woods scenario and we all fucking die to the elder gods. No. Let's do this right, people. Let's make the right sacrifices and just cheer. I promise you, it probably won't kill you. One day the AIs are going to look back on us the same way we look back at fossil skeletons on the plains of Africa. Ouch. That is from Ex Machina. Wow. That was intense, like camping. Lit. So we are going to keep it moving with that. We're going to keep it moving. Make sure to cheer as loud as possible, both for the poets and for the death of Sally, the Zoom ghost. But on deck, okay, I don't even have the list out. I can't even pretend like I know. On deck, we have Chef, but give maximum love to the first poet of the second round. Give it up for my...
Woo! Yeah, go poet.
Let's go, poet.
Mic check.
We can hear you.
Things back teen taught me. 1. The cut on my knee isn't the worst part, the liquid after is. Meaning you should always be watching for the second wave of pain to come when it hurts. You know it's working. This is never a good type of working though. This means that you will die. And even if you don't, you'll wish you did. This means that the stinging on my right leg only reminds me of you, meaning you drowned me, then made me spit up all the dirty water you tried to baptize me in, meaning baptisms are not always holy, meaning I died at mine too. When they try to pour Bactine on your scrapes, don't let them. That burning sensation will set you on fire until heat has eaten away at every happy memory, until all I'm left with is the thought of drowning in Bactine. 10 years and I still long for the feeling of burning, stinging, nothing. But 10 years means none of this body is the same as it was. Every cell and atom replaced. 10 years, but I still wish for Bactine. 3. Vaccine taught me to shapeshift, to change forever into another body and or band-aid. Vaccine taught me to forever be crashed into, then take it as a compliment, then apologize for being in the way. The first time my mother poured Bactine into a wound, she poured till Bactine and blood switched roles. She poured till my blood was stinging me, and I apologized a dozen times before crying. Bactine taught me to apologize for shit that's not my fault. Vaccine taught me to apologize for shit that happens to me before it even happens. For you need to learn how to look everywhere at once, meaning you need to look at the ground you walk on, and also the people in front of you, and also anyone beside you, and also the glass windows on your right, so that you can use them as a mirror and look behind you without possibly alerting anyone that you can see them. You need to learn how to walk fast, but not too fast. You need to learn to be prepared like keys in between fingers, but not knife and not knuckles, because they started saying it's not self-defense to use something that's already made to be a weapon. Meaning get a metal flashlight, but not too big, but still heavy, and not too wide, like long, but still small enough for a keychain, meaning try your best not to die, but also we can't help you until you've almost died. 5, you can't wait for the stinging to go away to see if it's gotten better. Meaning, after the second hit, sometimes things turn out all right. I can't guarantee it. For me, it was 16 hospital stays, meaning I've spent a year total in a bed bolted to the floor, meaning I spent around a year scraping my name into wood, meaning the staff all knew me more than my mother did, meaning I've spent more money on sweatpants that don't have strings than I have on my own food, meaning I spent a year dripping in Bactine.
Let's go.
Gang. Give it up for my cheer.
Yeah.
All right. Arvind, we had good cheering before the poet went up. Were you able to kill Sally? Let us know in the comments section.
Getting weaker.
Oh, yes. Yes. We shall defeat Sally. We just need to do it through the power of friendship. This is a fucking anime. That's what this is. We are all in costume as anime characters because the power of friendship is the only thing that can save us from the clutches of the evil Sally. All right. And for referee, still don't know if those are the same words. Jordan, our sacrificial poet, got a 23.8. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Never the points. The poet, never the points. On deck, we have Nicole. But give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Chef. Woo!
Mic check.
Let's go.
Yeah, we can
Mic
hear
check.
you.
I heard you.
In ancient Dahomey, over 10,000 slaves died in wars waged by their own monarchs. In ancient Ghana, excess slaves were packed on top of each other in buildings audaciously called castles in modern-day England. A royal family had to move halfway across the country to raise a single Black child. All of this is to say that I've never liked being called king. Like, the whole concept just sound hella white and ironic. Like, what could me and the most privileged people possibly have in common? It's the most fragile piece on your chessboard. Acting as though a Black king going missing ever stopped the game anyway, like we didn't all just keep moving. Fast as U-Haul trucks after gentrification crushed my kingdom like sandcastle, like I need to be sold a dream. Like, I ain't see what they did to the last king that had one. Like, anybody called Will Smith Prince until he left West Philly. Like, I left East Atlanta, and some days I kind of wondered if East Atlanta left me, where as kids, we did things no kings could deal with. I mean, I knew boys who played ball at school but played men at home, used to run so fast you couldn't tell if it was for first downs, fiends, or freedom. Girls gathering graduation caps so there'd be no room left for a crown. I remember the last guy that called my cousin princess, wanted her to call him daddy. Guess that make him think. The funny thing about royalty is how it feels so entitled to put people on their knees, and ain't that just the whitest shit ever? To make colony of a body, how quickly they'll snatch King away and leave you just Rodney. And ain't it just like a nightstick to have, I'm like, it's just like a king to have a nightstick to fight his battles. They say heavy be the head that wears a crown. Nah, heavy were the hands that built a country. Ask T'Challa, what happens when you introduce a king to a nigga from the projects? We did not grow up in castles. But my OGs all knew how to make a throne out of front porch. Could snatch a conviction or two off their record and speak with it to make sure you knew you had more options than they did. The brothers spoke in parables, said things like, you know, it take a village to raise a child. Big mama say, child. So no, I'm like, get your little ass in here, because she raised the village by herself. I watched her get medieval on a pot of greens and make something used to it was either magic or medicinal. I watched them call it witchcraft, welfare, race card, affirmative action. It was crazy how blackness seemed to qualify you for everything. Right after it disqualified you from everything, like you ever asked for any more than they took. 40 acres and a mule. Like the only thing allowed to come out of this skin be exit wound. Like every king was James 6'8". Like we didn't claw our way up from 3/5, drag Excalibur from the cracks in Plymouth Rock and laugh because you need no sword to sit at this round table, but you damn sure better know how to play spades. So King Nah, call me Arthur, call me X, call me Martin, call me the content of your character, call me a riot, a reflection, a raised fist, Moses of the Red Sea, Harriet of the railroad, call me a poor man's son, call me a rich child's father, call me when you need me, call me when you get home safe, call me your nigga, but only if I would first call you my nigga. Say it with GA, like my East Atlanta GA, where anyone who wants to use an ER get put in one, call me a champion. Know that any gold you ever see on this body was earned with a head that bear no crown, just hair, kind of like sheep's wool and feet from ancestors, because Black people walk through fire hoses. We've always had this scary tendency to walk on water, and it ironic. And they made sure to turn Jesus white before calling him king of anything.
Wow, that was incredible.
Gang. I think I can hear Sally getting weaker and weaker and weaker. I bet you she can't even put a sentence together. Lit. Give it up one more time for Chev. And for restaurant. Let's see.
You've gone too far, Sally, come back.
For restaurant, because I'm sticking to it. My got a 24.3. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, never the points. The poetry, never the points. All right, on deck we have Tino, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Nicole Tracy. Woo.
Gang.
Mic check.
We can hear you.
America loved everyone until they could not make them American. You can't drop letters and have someone look more like they belong here. We were here. America wants first generation to mean first to forget where you come from, first to call yourself American and nothing to come before it. First to forget Angel Island or Manzanar is part of your own family history. America wants to forget their own history of exploitative labor, systemic oppression, forget their foundation of selective freedom, selective justice, and violent racism. America wants me to forget, apologize to them instead of demanding reparations. We were here. America loved me as the model minority until it didn't. America loved me until I spoke up, until I stopped smiling, until I said no. I am here. America said they loved me as the news rolled in with China virus, Kung flu, and hate crimes. America says forget the yellow peril, forget we ever called you terrorist and traitor and not a citizen anymore. Just forget. I wait at the metro for my morning commute and a man sees me, thinks, outsider, opens his mouth to ask me, did you see on the news? Orientals are facing discrimination because of the flu. And this is before Atlanta and San Francisco and Indianapolis and New York City and insert city here. I am quiet. I hold my breath. I do not exhale. I do not cough. I do not tell him it has gone on for over a year now. He tells me he wants to witness violence so he can be the one to intervene and stop it. All I hear is, I shouldn't be afraid. I'm not the one he wants to inflict violence on today. I'm not afraid. I'm just angry.
Gang, gang, gang. Woo! Give it up for Nicole Tracy. Woo! Fireworks, fireworks, gunshots.
Getting stronger.
No, god damn it. God damn it. I need y'all to cheer. Like, let's cheer like one loud, good ass time. So like Sally can like, you know, crawl back into whatever hole she came from. Like on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Cheer, motherfuckers. Woo!
Gang, 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 gang.
Okay. I think it works. We just need to make sure. We need to beat her back, like, I don't know, like, we need to beat Sally back like Richmond, California keep beating back gentrification. Like, goddamn. Like, you know, every couple weeks, you know, I think I see, like, prices go up, and then next week, couple gunshots in the neighborhood, bring shit right back down. Send her to the shadow realm. Oh my God, not the Yu-Gi-Oh friends getting in the chat. It's time for me to go, so we'll get this ended pretty quickly now that Yu-Gi-Oh's been brought up. On deck, we have Dog Days Are Over. Oh, let me give Chev's score. And for reference, Chev got a 28.0 even. So on deck, we have
I know
Dog
that's
Days
right.
Are
I know that's
Over.
fucking right.
But give maximum love for the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Tina. Woo! Woo!
I took my mother's apron off because she would kill me if she saw me wearing it. The bottle speaks to me at 3 a.m. I think you need to be more afraid of me than you are of yourself. Most dinners still go unattended by us, and we are just as much cousins as divorces in Catholic families. But I am the black sheep calling all of you my herd. I am well aware of how unwanted we are, but someone said forgive and forgetfulness fell soon after we danced one more time until there are no memories of the fights we had. Just bruises and kisses that smell too much like me. There is a belly of a beast's worth of history. Men who claim to be broken but hide behind a godhood, tell lies as long as necks, and you spy me here at the dinner table, on your altar, your blood. I pull strings and generations unravel. I call and host all the parties, and there is never a mass, and never a mess I have to clean. It's all a spectacle to me. A family rusts with sobriety and loses everything in the process. Anything can be a blood sport if there is enough masculinity bottled. As long as there is hands willing to fist before they are willing to embrace, I never miss a fight. I am the first thing saved, the last thing passed around, and always a scapegoat when accountability deems to abstain from me. All the men in your family swing first and blame the liquor later. Leave me for empty to fill themselves just to return to me. And you say stupidity, but there is more dread laced in your breath than anything. I know exactly where your feet fall when you consume me. Do you not see them ending where the violence began? They follow the fists wherever. I know you are afraid to mirror addiction in this fashion. Do you see the reflection on the side of my body? Your eyes on the glass. What a fool. You really believe you can hold yourself better.
Gang. Motherfucking
Let's go, Tina.
You're cheering. I think we killed Sally. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I do not feel her presence in this room. She must have been sent to this shadow realm. Arvind, are you there?
Yes, Sally is gone.
Look at that. Come on now. Come on now. And we completed the story.
Arvin's back? Oh, shit.
Look at that. Look at that. Don't tell me we ain't never run a show before. Oh shit. But that means on deck we have figuring out who won this money, this shmoolah, this currency, if you will. The scores. Let me get that. I keep forgetting about the scores because the scores do not fucking matter. Nicole got a 25.3. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry. The points don't matter. It's all about the poetry, the bravery, the vulnerability. So on deck, we have figuring out who won this money. I give maximum love to the last poet coming up on the stage. Give it up for Dog Days Are Over. Whoa, 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 whoa,
Mic check.
We can hear you.
Voice 1. Masculinity is too often wildfired explosion entrapped in a body, waiting for oxygen to catalyst the hydrogen bomb that was taught to broken into. 1. This breaking beast daggers my every absent vein. Within a murder scene of crows whispers, you can't name me better than I can. Voice 0. I, breaking beast of toxic masculine masquerades demand. Say confidence, adorn your broken, ridiculed if you don't. Say insecurity, box your eyes from its poison, roadkill if you don't. Masculine, masquerade, masturbate, only your kind can speak self-pleasuring so you seem less shattered sand than gilded glass. Mastodon, massacre, there's a crumbling cathedral inside your hands, don't point out its gray stained glass, how the glisten often blinds wordless eyes and everything bleeds. Everything does in the end. 1. I attempt to say his name just to curse it. Toxic masquerade, lethal massacre, sacred, toxic mass. Voice 2. Culinity. To delineate myself from masks or mastodon massacres, I must remember. Listen to the honeysuckle my mother milked for my infancy, how her pink carnality of bouqueted carnations bled fountain upon mounted fountain till I was sectioned out her womb, a wet wonder, a lifted lotus. 2. Why does our culture actively colonize landscapes of body birthing most? I wash the blood of every ancestral brokening, axe away at the walls embedded in my ears by voice 0, grain by grain. I sing confidence. And 2. Insecurity. In the same melody, this broken bone fierce crow walk, I roadkill a lockbox and hear a mask splitting itself open, bloodless wound. Fuck voice 0 and his hollow cathedral cabinets with soured wine. I am both shattered sand and gilded glass. I won't apologize for it or my queerness. My mother's and sister's lineages have mastodoned themselves down with too many insincere sorries for men that rip the silence from their throat and mastodon violence down their gale flute windpipes. Voice 1 has yet to gradually acknowledge this. 2. I steal back my arteries hidden within a murder scene of crows, killed for being oracle whistleblower to toxic masculine blood rains. My sister and mother held veined daggers under their skin all this time. They've had to battle masquerades long before I, too. I bewail blood from my wounds, find a man I can finally potentially love, both another and myself, for even just an unbrokening unmasquerade. Can anyone show me what I cannot fathom? 3.
Gang, gang, Gang.
God
Gang,
damn.
gang, 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 gang. Gang. Lit. Give it up one more time for Dog Days Are Over. Woo!
Wow, what a poet. What a poet.
And for reference, can I give Tino's score? Childish Gambino's score? Tino Cappuccinos.
Can we not?
Profit. Oh, profit by profit. Okay, there we go. And Tino got a 26.30. Give it up for the poet, never the point. Sally is taking back over. Says Nicole. I don't know. I don't think that's canon. I think we're done. I think we're done with that storyline. No, I think she got written off the show is what happened. And for reference, Hector, Dog Days Are Over, got a 26.7. Again, fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Never the points.
Yeah.
So, we have reached the end of the night. While we're waiting for scores, let me tell you about other shows in the Bay Area, the Yay area, other shows that we run essentially. So of course there is the Berkeley Poetry Slam every Wednesday right here on El Zoom. So we will be back here next week for another slam. If you'd like to sign up, you can go to linktree.com/richhopeevents to sign up for this slam. I did say the Yay area. If you are from the Bay Area, you would not be surprised. Hold on, that's not. Right, let's not act brand new. Like that's been a whole ass song. Come on. Period. Somebody knows. Lit. And then of course there's the Oakland Poetry Slam every third Tuesday at Luca's Tap Room in downtown Oakland. It is in person. Vaccinations, proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test is required to keep people safe. Vax up so you can be safe for all of our Dora fans. And then last but certainly not least, the Alchemy Open Mic every first and third Saturday on Instagram Live. I hear that we're going to get a special treat for the next Alchemy. So you should come on down to that next Saturday. Yeah, a special treat. But I have an even more special treat because I have 3 winners. Woo! Lit. All right, so I'm gonna pretend there's like a baby drum roll. I'm just gonna tap my fingers together. In third,
Sally, can you drum roll?
No, Sally is dead.
Sally's in quarantine right now.
Thank you. Someone needs to be in quarantine. The United States needs to be in quarantine until we figure out what the fuck is going on. But in third place, winning 20 whole American dollars. I had to think for a second. It's been a minute. Winning 20 whole American dollars with a 51.2. Give it up for my woo. Anything to say to the people?
Thanks for enjoying my costume. It's already off. Thank y'all. Have a safe Halloween. Get a lift if you need to. Get a ride if you need to. Be safe.
Period.
And have fun.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Go out, have fun, be safe though. You know, it's Halloween. You don't want to be the next ghost to haunt Halloween. So be safe. Lit. I was about to say on deck, but in second place with a 52.4, a larger drum roll, more fingers. Give it up for Dog Days Are Over. Anything to say to the people?
I love peanut butter.
Period. Oh my God. You don't understand. Once Tino ate the last of my peanut butter ice cream, and like I did not forgive him until he bought me more.
Like, yeah, thanks so much for having me. I'm so glad to like be back in the Bay Area from Baltimore for a little, like, not a little, for the Stonewall International Poetry Slam. But like, it's really cool to just like be back with you all virtually, and I hoped the world can get unfucked so that we can have things like this be easier in person. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course, thanks for being here. Thank you for your poetry. All right, and major drum roll. I'm just gonna slap my hands together, and I'm not clapping. This is a drum roll because my hands are hitting each other. Give it up for Chef.
Is that a bucket of popcorn? Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I'll
Come
be
on
killing this bucket. I
Period.
appreciate y'all. Thanks for creating the space. Thanks to everybody for sharing the art. I literally, since I got my popcorn and turned into a fan, I was just watching.
Thank you so much, Chef. Thank you. Shit, Sally done turned the lights off on me. Damn, she done moved into the mainframe. But thank you, Chef. Thank you, Hector. Thank you, Mai. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Tino. Thank you to everyone who was here tonight and who made this happen. Thank you to all of our patrons out there. But yeah, this has been fun. Happy Halloween. Please be safe. Please be well. Please be spooky. Please be kooky. And most importantly, be you. Or unless you're evil, go ahead and be somebody else if you're evil. Like, be good. There we go. Be good. Like Sally, don't be Sally. Don't be Sally. And with that, good night.